Hey guys, it's Hannah here, and I am back today with my cheek declutter in my declutter series. Today we're going to be decluttering face palettes, blushes, highlighters and bronzers, and all of the things that go on my cheeks. This is a more successful declutter than my base products. Definitely some categories I could have done better in, one in particular, but if you're interested in seeing what cheap products I have, what I'm keeping, what I'm going to declutter, just stay tuned. Face palette. This part of my collection has literally doubled since this one last year because I got my 3 Sigma face palettes during the Black Friday sales last year, and the Wayne Goss came in my Beautylicious Lucky Bag. So I definitely have more than I have had previously, but again, I'm not super upset with that. Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow, not going, love it. I'm literally using it this month as I'm filming. My Hourglass is my go-to travel, I love it. The Dior highlighting palette, fantastic. NARS, high voltage. Discontinued, but still fantastic. So top row is kind of my holy grails. The bottom row is my new to my collection. So the Sigma Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, I used this last month and I really enjoyed it. And I love Beauty and the Beast. So the Disney ones are personally going to be hard for me to get rid of because they're Disney anyway. But I also really like these 2 colours. The Alice in Wonderland, I love the tones. Alice is probably the Disney property I have the least connection to, but the colours are phenomenal. The Cinderella is the peachiest of them all, which is probably the least of my tones, but I'm not getting rid of it because it's Cinderella, and I still do like it. However, the Wayne Goss Vivid Azalea is just far too bright for my Erin laughing in the background. Yeah, there's no way I'm ever wearing this blush colour. And the highlighter may work for my white skin, but the blush does not, and I'm not keeping this palette. Erin's my lovely assistant for my declutter videos, and I open this and she just thinks this is hilarious. Yeah, no, this can absolutely go. But, who knows how long the Disneys will stay with me, but for now, they're still relatively new. I'm still enjoying them, and I love Disney, so those 2 things together means they get to stay. Blush! Alright, so keeping in mind that I've kept 3, technically 4 blush palettes, but the Hourglass is a full face palette, but keep in mind that I've kept 3 blush palettes, I do need to do some things here. And that is very tricky as I look at these because I've used every single one of these blushes this year. And I have enjoyed using every single one of these blushes this year except one. So, let's get rid of that one first because it is the easiest. It is the MCO Soft Matte Beauty Wand. It is the dupe product for the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Blush Wand. I just don't like liquid blushes. They don't work in my routine. So this just was not something that I was interested in, and I didn't love how it sat on my skin. If I am reaching for a cream blush, I am going for either the MAC Glow Plays or the Half Magic Pink Mushroom Cream Fluff. This honestly looks like I could hit pan on it. Like, you can see how big of a dent I have in this. I love this stuff. I picked up the shade of the MAC Glow Plays in Ginger Luck this year. I love this stuff. This is probably one of my favourite formulas of blushes, so these 4 are definitely going to stay. MAC Warm Soul is also just a favourite. It is fantastic. Rare Beauty is new this year. It is quite a bright pinky shade, but it's very glowy. This is in the shade Hope. Really pretty. And then Buxom Seychelles I use this month, and it's this really gorgeous bronzy shade. Natasha Denona My Mini Dream, absolutely staying. The Kaleidos blush in Pearl Bliss, though, I think can go. It's a really fair bronzy blush shade. It's just not something I reach for a lot. I've already talked about the Half Magic. The Dior Rosy Blush in Rosewood is new to my collection and I'm really enjoying it, so that one's going to stay. The Hourglass Luminous Flush can go though. It's a brighter pink, and if I'm wearing a bright pink, I'm going to wear the, I can see the light, floating lights from Colourpop, because I refuse to get rid of that because Disney. So I'm going to let this one go. Pat McGrath, Flirtatious, also been wearing this month. Gorgeous. Hourglass Mood Exposure, still a favourite. Love it. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, love it. Heaven's Hue from Urban Cosmetics in Baroque is this gorgeous bronzy shade, and Magic Hour is this great peach. The Odin's Eye Sienna Luster is very pretty, but it is a little bit on the orangey side, but it is different in my collection. So I kind of want to hold on to it just for one more round, I think, because I am going to get rid of my Cover FX, which is also in that kind of peachy orangey tone. I'm just not loving how this is sitting on my skin. This is in the shade Soft Peach, so I'm going to let this one go. I'm going to keep my Patrick Tar because it is my newest blush. Any comments? Nope.
No.
Highlighters. This winter I really got into adding glowy products to my more matte foundations. So this liquid highlighter collection has actually grown quite a bit from that. This is a Drunk Elephant Be Goldie Bright Drops that I just got as a sample. However, it is summer, so I haven't used these yet, so I want to hold on to them just to see. I love, love, love the Auric Glow Lust and the Say Glowy Super Gel to mix in with foundations. The Hollywood, not Hollywood Flawless Filter, the Beauty Light Wand, I'm torn on because it needs to go. It has a pretty Tinkerbell, and that's why I'm torn on it, but I don't love it. And honestly, I am making myself use up the stupid magic cream with the Diamantes and the Tinkerbell embossed on it to keep that. And that packaging I can keep. This packaging I'm not going to keep, so I'm going to let that one go because I just don't use liquid highlighter. Just like traditionally, I use more of these kind of glowy mix-in products. I'm going to keep these three. Powder highlighters. I just love powder highlighter. I know it's kind of gone out of fashion, but I love highlighter. And I love a lot of these highlighters. Natasha Denona Super Glow, super pretty. Bobbi Brown, this is Pink Glow, which is a gorgeous marbled pink shade. My holy grail, Laura Mercier Highlight 01 is never, ever, 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 ever gonna leave my collection. I love it. However, Pat McGrath Bridgerton can go. It's just too chunky, glittery. I kept it for the collection. It has a really cool embossing on it, but I'm not going to wear something that has that much of a sparkle in it. And if I am, honestly, I have my Dior highlighter palette that has a sparkly shade in it, so that can go. As can the Smashbox Vlada Petal Metal Gilded Rose highlighter. I have finally come to the end of my pink to peachy gold highlighter phase. There was a time when a good chunk of my highlighters were that pink to peach flip or vice versa, and I loved it, but not anymore. Nabla Ozone, love it. Dior Precious Rocks 001. I have pan in this highlighter. That's how much I love this highlighter. Okay? Again, pried out of my cold dead hands. As with Becca Berlin Girl Glow, which has significant pan on it, pried out of my cold dead hands. case you didn't know. MAC Double Gleam is a gorgeous wet look highlighter on the skin. Anastasia. This is the Anastasia highlighter in Sun Idol. And it is very gold. They have come out with new shades of this, and I would be interested in trying one of the new shades because this is just slightly too dark on me. But I love the formula. So I'm going to let it go because I have so many that you can see that I love. But I'd be interested in trying out one of the new lighter shade that she's come out with. I'm also finally ready to say goodbye to Laura Gello Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Gilded in Peach Glow. I loved this. As you can see, has had significant use, but I'm ready to let it go. Sephora Collection Colourful Luminizer in Ice Pearl is just absolutely gorgeous. It is slightly shifty, but not too much. And again, for a bit of a pink sparkle, if I'm going for a sparkle, Mesmerized by Rare Beauty is gorgeous. Alright, and that's my highlighters. Bronzer. I really like bronzer, but as you can see, I mostly use powder bronzer. It just fits best in my routine. So to start off, I'm actually going to declutter the NARS Cream Bronzer. Now this is the original Laguna that came out the first time it came out. And I think if I had Laguna, which is now Laguna 02, I think if I had Laguna 01, it would work better, but it's just a little bit too dark and pigmented for me to work with as a cream. If I am going to use a cream, I am going to use my Rare Beauty Power Boost, and even then it's not that often that I do. I have found this year that I prefer a lighter bronzer. It's just what works best for my skin. So I'm also going to say goodbye to the Nabla bronzer in Amber. I just find it is a little bit too deep. So if you compare it to the Milani here, it's just that little bit deeper. It's a gorgeous baked gelée texture, but it is just not, or doesn't always sit on my skin the best. And the other one that is going because of that exact same reason is Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade number 2. And as you can see, it is significantly darker. So I find Pat McGrath Divine, what is this called? Nude Honey to be my perfect bronzer tone. And as you can see, this is much darker and much warmer. And it just means I have to work a little bit more with it. It's a huge pen of product and I'm never going to get through it. So I'd rather just keep these 6. So I haven't yet used the Give Me Sun from MAC. I don't know if I'm going to love it just because it is that warmer bronzer. But I also know the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish products blend really easily. So I want to try it just to see. I do have my MAC Light Rosy, which is a really nice rosier blush. And then obviously Marc Jacobs Tantastic. I love it. I don't think that will ever leave my collection. Alright.
You didn't talk about the L'Oreal one.
L'Oreal's so good. L'Oreal's fantastic. It is a very similar colour to the Pat McGrath. So, like, it's honestly probably on par with the Pat McGrath. Which is insane for the price difference.
There you go.
Okay, so for those of you who are numbers people, for face palettes I started with 8, decluttered 1, and now I have 7. For blushes I started with 21, decluttered 4, and now have 17. For highlighters I started with 17, I decluttered 5, so now I only have 12. What is this? And bronzers, I started with 10, I decluttered 3, so now I have 7. I'm really happy with those numbers. Blush, I probably could have gotten down a little bit more, particularly since I did keep 3 blush palettes. But otherwise, I'm super happy with those numbers. It wasn't a huge declutter, but I did declutter 13 items, which I think is pretty good. Stay tuned, click subscribe, because next we have eye products, which is a long one. And honestly, there's some declutters that you will be surprised about. I was really proud of myself when it came to particularly my eyeshadow palettes and what I decluttered there. So stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite cheek products at the moment? Is there something that I decluttered that you love? I'm so glad you love it. Tell me why, how do you make it work? Something that you think I need to try in these categories. Definitely highlighters and bronzers. I feel like I can add some with those numbers. And just give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Stick around, there's more declutters coming, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.